I'm kind of just tired of the constant, thinking of about life and how suffering is just such a generic thing where, a lot of people want to just, die. They don't want to live anymore. They don't want to, keep living in this organized world where it's just so painful that you even keep going over and over again, where things just keep getting harder and harder, and you suffering because you can't deal with the whole pressure of life and people around you who are constantly just belittling you for no current reason. Because why not? Why not they just do that because they feel like it? And it's just how it is. You have to deal with it. There's no objection of why you should deal with it. It's just that because you have to deal with it, and you have to just go on believing that all these people that say these things to you, you have to keep going because that's just how it is. You don't just give up because people say suicide is cowardness and that you're weak if you kill yourself, because simply the world is so overwhelming and so distancing where you just can't think for yourself anymore. And it's simply, you know what? I give up. I can't do this anymore. I can't think anymore. I can't just do anything anymore. All the hobbies that you used to have, maybe music or playing video games or constantly just talking to friends, that shit just can't work anymore. Even then, you might not have friends. You simply might be a loner, someone that you just doesn't connect with anyone around you. Because simply when you try, people just ignore you and simply move on with their day. Because that's just how it is. And you get very irritated on that fact that people will just be there and then they eventually disappear because that's just how it is. Everyone just moves on with their life because you're stuck in this bubble where you can't move on because you're simply just a person who wants attention, who wants, validation and people to, trust you and look up to you and want their validation as well because you're simply lonely. You're simply dealing with facts that your life is just so unnormal because people around you simply just don't care at all. So they just let you float around because what else can you do? You can't do anything else. You can try to put yourself out there more and more often, but they don't care. They don't simply, it doesn't matter to them. More than anything, they will simply let you just die out because that's how it is. They will just let you fall apart because it's simpler that way than you explaining your problems to them when they won't matter. They won't care. Eventually, they'll just say, "Oh, it's alright. You can get this help." Da 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 da, and eventually they just move on with their lives because it's simpler than dealing with your problems and dealing with your headaches and dealing with your things. So you keep it locked up like usual. When a lot of people who are dealing with this kind of subject and thing, they just keep it in their own mind and their own head because it's worth more to think about these things to yourself than tell other people around you what's happening with you. Because when you tell other people, you get nervous to the fact that they will tell you to do this and that, and you don't want to be told what to do. You don't want to be told to do this or whatever. Yes, therapy is good, and you should get therapy if you're feeling suicidal or having problems through your life, because eventually it gets so overwhelming where you just want to die, where you just want to give up, because it's simpler. And there's those times where I wanted to give up myself and just totally just die because it's so easy to do and people just don't want to suffer anymore. It's more easy to give up than suffer constantly over and over again each and every fucking day because people are constantly just getting in your way. It's really irritating because it happens all the time. You feel very isolated because you don't have people around you who, talk to you or anything like that. They simply just let you die because it's more easier that way so you can just give up because people just don't care anymore. People don't want to give the effort or time, especially bullying. Bullying used to be such a big thing. Nowadays, I don't think it's ginormous as it used to be, but people who bullied others to the point where they killed themselves is just, it's so sad, so gut wrenching that it has actually been happening, and people do it all the time. Bullying has been such a huge problem for such a long time, and people didn't do much for it. They didn't really care at all. So they let it just confess, to a point where it got so big that it just never really mattered. And, they just let them die. And they don't care, people don't care. The bullies don't care. The teachers don't care. Fuck. They used to not give two shits about it. There were so many kids that died, and there's people who say, "Oh, we should bring bullying back because bullying such been so effective." Because there's kids around the world being stupid and doing these weird TikTok things, and people say, "Oh, we should bring back bullying." At the time, I thought they were telling the truth as well, but when I realized, yeah, it's wrong. You shouldn't bring bully back anywhere because it brings to a whole point where people want to kill themselves because they get pressured into a corner because there's so many people around them who don't like them for what they do. And, there's always a time where people won't like each other, and it's just how it is. But to a point where you bully them till they want to kill themselves and even make fun of them after they die. Like, that shit's just disgusting. I seen it. It generally pisses me off that there's people out there who will bully you so much and then make a fun of you when you died. Those people are psychopaths. I generally think they should just kill themselves. And I know I'm being a hypocrite or somewhat of that for saying that, because no one deserves to die. No one deserves to die, but those people, I generally wish they died because they are disgusting. They don't have any sympathy or remorse for what they did. They just cared more about that person died. And you know what's funny? They deleted that post and everything because it got so much, attraction because that person who died got so much attraction because of what happened. And those bullies, they leaded their social medias and everything. They knew what's gonna happen. They knew that they were gonna get so much backlash for what they did, and they leaded everything. It's so satisfying that people like this back away because they know they're fucked. They know they did what they did was wrong, and generally, I wish this shit just keeps stopping. I wish this shit just moves on because this crap has been happening for so long, bullying and shit like that. It's not even that. Sometimes suicide just can happen because you're so lonely, so depressed, so out of place in this world. And I understand because there's so many people who are out of place, so fucking done, where you just want to grab a gun and pull the trigger, and things are not financially going right for you, like businesses, money, whatever. It can be whatever it could be, addiction. It all adds up, and it gets frustrating because you realize that you're such in a dark place and people don't want to help you because they're more, um, more fucking focused on some other stuff than, mental health. Mental health has been such a thing where it has not been focused on as much. And I think it has continued to be focused on now, but back then it wasn't. It was such a small case where people just got so frustrated where they just wanted to kill themselves, or they become mass shooters, like school shooters or whatever like that. And then that adds on to problems themselves. But you never see it. You never see it fucking happen because people just leave it too long. And then that's how people just die, and that's just how it happens. People die and it just leaves up to a huge problem later on for everyone else. And then people don't really care because that's just how it is. It's just been like this for so fucking long that it's just numbing my brain in because I realized how hard life is and how obnoxious and annoying it can be at times. And it makes me realize I just so done with suffering, so done with realizing how fucked my life has been for so long. Because you get depressed on these days where some days you are feeling so fucking overwhelmed and sad because you feel like you're going to be alone forever, where you have no one, where you have no girlfriend, where you have no partner, no nothing. And you feel so overwhelmed where you just want to give up entirely and just end it all because it's so much simpler to do that, right? Just end it all because people find it easier to kill themselves. And people who call them cowards and fucking selfish people, they're not selfish, they just gave up at an earlier time because they couldn't deal with the pressure of society and what was happening at the time. But yeah, because that's all it is. At the end of the day, it's a hard world out there, and some people just want to give up. All right, don't call them cowards. Don't do shit like that. It's just disgusting. Because really, at the end of the day, you would have given up yourself if you didn't get the help you needed.